but I notice it. Worst idea of the entire van build, which I will admit some of you guys warned me about. So you were right. And that doesn't bother me, but it does bother like 98% of people that use my sink. It wastes a lot of space. I did announce this to my patrons about a month ago. Wow! That's really cool! Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Squirrels. No! In the last 2 months or so, there's been a pretty big influx of people watching the van build series, which also means that I've been getting many questions about different aspects of my build, which things have been working out, which things I'd want to change. So I did want to take the time and get this video out there for all of you that are mid-van build. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down 5 things that I would change about my build. If you are a longtime viewer and you watched us build the van, I built the van, you watched. I'm sure that you know there are more things than just this 5 that I would change, because I was an absolute newbie builder. I knew nothing, my skills were like non-existent, but the things that I'm going to talk about today are like the main things that I think about as I'm living full-time in my van. And make sure you stick around to the end because I have a really exciting announcement that I'm really excited to share with you guys. The very first thing that comes to mind is my floor. If you watched the build, you know that I had quite the love-hate relationship with my flooring. I started with vinyl peel and stick. Worst idea of the entire van build for multiple reasons. Don't even let that idea get into your head. Don't use vinyl peel and stick. And then I decided to pick up just normal tongue and groove flooring from the Restore, and I got it for super cheap. I was really excited about it. And while I love the easy install and how it looks, it does not really hold up to our lifestyle. You guys know that Akela and I spend like 90% of our time outside. We are very adventurous, which also means that Akela and I bring in a lot of dirt, debris, sand, mud, gravel, grass, and Akela loves to swim and be in the water, so she's also bringing in a lot of moisture. So I have already noticed some wear and tear in my floor. Instead of just this average tongue and groove flooring, I do wish that I would have just invested the money for a life-proof tongue and groove, or gone the route of just a vinyl sheet flooring. Some of the wear and tear that I've noticed is due to moisture. Like I mentioned, where the tongue and groove joins up, moisture has started to seep in there and kind of lift and warp a little bit. Not a big deal, it doesn't look that bad, people don't notice it, but I notice it. Also, this flooring does scratch. So that's just, yeah, my floor is scratched, which doesn't really matter, but now it is more vulnerable to more wear and tear, more moisture getting in, all that jazz. Quick little side note, I'm still a newbie. I still don't actually know what I'm doing. So feel free to put your own opinions, your own experiences, your own thoughts in the comments, because I know that a lot of my viewers look through those comments for more information and for more knowledge from people other than myself. And for the second thing, my sink, which I will admit some of you guys warned me about. So you were right. I ended up putting a pretty small sink in with the idea that I would be saving space and creating more counter space, which is true, I have more counter space. But basically now, my sink only acts as one thing. It's really just like a bowl to house my dishes, and that's it. I will probably be replacing the sink at some point in Togo's lifetime, and I want a larger one and I want a deeper one, because like I said, basically this is just a little holding vessel for all of my dirty dishes, but I never actually use it to wash my dishes because it's so shallow, so small, that when I do wash my dishes, water is getting literally everywhere. And I might even replace this to increase the amount of water flow that comes out, because this does take a while. And that doesn't bother me, but it does bother like 98% of people that use my sink. Number 3, I wish that I would have included more power storage from the start. I'm gonna link my solar explained video where I talk really in depth about what my solar is, how I put it together, what things work and what doesn't work. But overall, I wish I kind of would have just overestimated how much power I would actually use and just invest in an extra battery, install it from the get-go so that it wasn't like another big project down the road for me to add a battery, which is not that big of a project anyway. but it is a project. All right, number 4, the bench that I'm sitting on right now is what houses my heater. I have a Chinese diesel heater. It was like 130 bucks. I love it. But I wish I would have installed it somewhere else, like under the front passenger seat or in a different dead space area. The reason I say that is because this is a really big bench, and while it's a perfect location for my heater, it wastes a lot of space. If I had installed my heater elsewhere, like under my passenger seat, I could use this entire bench for my gear storage, for extra food storage, for my winter clothes storage, or for all of my tools that I keep in my van, because right now they are kind of scattered. They all have different homes, and it would be so nice just to have a box where all of my tools could live. I don't have that because I didn't use my space very well. And that is a perfect segue into my last point, which is overall storage, especially in my garage. The reason I say this is because I really like doing a lot of different activities or skills or whatever, which usually requires a lot of gear. And when I created my garage space, I just kind of figure it out, and just fit things in where they could fit, which kind of works. Everything that I need as of right now has its own spot. I do use Tupperwares. I built this little shelf. I use the space on top of my wheel wells, but I wish that I would have planned more for gear that I knew I was going to purchase, or for the gear that I currently had. A part of me really wishes that I had like large drawers that came out so that I could, I guess, just be more efficient with how I pack things and where I put things. And along with this, I know that Akela has a really big, nice, beautiful room in here, her kennel, but actually it's like the size of a room. And I wish I would have made this a little bit smaller because she really only lays in the front 2/3 of it, and I wasted quite a lot of space making this a little extra comfortable for her. There's a few things that I've been looking at purchasing, like waders for fly fishing. I'd like to get a snowboard for the winter and potentially a bow. So I will probably need to figure out some systems for my ceiling to hang that stuff or store elsewhere outside of my garage. Basically, my advice for that is keep in mind what you currently need stored, and keep in mind that you're gonna meet new people, you're gonna experience new things, you're gonna get into new activities, and you're probably gonna wanna purchase some more gear. If that applies to you, if you're an outdoorsy, adventurous person, which a good chunk of van lifers are. So those are the 5 things that I would change about my van build, and hopefully by sharing those, it can have you guys question some of your decisions on your van build, and hopefully prevent you from making some decisions that you might regret in the future. That is a wrap on the informational part of this video, and I want to move on to a really fun, exciting announcement. I did announce this to my patrons about a month ago, but I'm ready to share some more information and tell you guys about this. I am building another van, but with a twist. September 8th through 12th, there is a big mobile community event happening near Alamosa, Colorado, right outside the Great Sand Dunes National Park. If you've never been there, this is your chance to go experience a really cool event and a very beautiful, incredible, unique national park. The main part of this event is a competition. So there's going to be a school bus, an RV, and a van being built out over the course of those 5 days. It's going to be a 24/7 build, 7 people on each team. I am on the van build team, so I will be building out an entire van over the course of 5 days with 6 other amazing people, and I cannot tell you how excited I am for this. The entire competition is going to be filmed and you guys will be able to view it, but I know that outside of the competition there's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on, including things like live music, meetups, opportunities to connect. There are going to be speakers. You can also bring your rig that you're working on and build it out while you're there and get help from professionals and get advice. That would be really cool. If I was building my van, I would totally do that. Drive the van with some of the things and work on it there. And I wanted to let you guys know with plenty of time to plan if it's something that you're interested in attending. Obviously I will be very busy doing the build and being in the competition, but I think it would be so fun to meet some of you guys. I think that just the entire event in general is going to be positive and uplifting, and something that will continue from year to year. So I do want to share a few other people that will be there, like Tiny Home Tours, Elsa, Ray, and Baron. Oh, I didn't know they were gonna be there. Oh, I just read that for the first time. I love them. Wow, that's really cool. I think she's a badass. Anyway, all right, moving on. The Matinees, Justin and Juby. I also love both of those couples. Enigmatic Nomads, and many, many more. I'm going to leave the link below so that you can go and get your ticket, go to this amazing event, meet cool people, have a fun experience. I'm also going to link their Instagram because they're often doing updates and answering questions over on their Instagram as well. Did I even mention what this is called? The event is called Gutted. I don't think I even said that from the start. It's called Gutted. Now you know. Gutted is happening in September. Check out the link, read all about it, see if it's something that you'd be interested in, and then purchase your ticket. And let's all just have a really great time. All right guys, Akela and I are going to say goodbye. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you found this helpful at all, please give it a like, consider subscribing, and we will see you next week for a super fun vlog.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.